Sunday's a huge game for Everton, especially following the disappointment of the 2-0 loss at Southampton last weekend, which ended, of course, our unbeaten start to the Premier League season. We won our first four, then followed that up with a dramatic 2-2 draw at Goodison Park in the Merseyside derby, and then, like I said, really disappointed with last weekend with both the result and the performance as well. I think the main reasons for the drop-off in the performance, two of the main reasons will be the fact that we were without Richarlison following his sending off in the derby, straight red. We're without him now still for the Newcastle game, of course, on the weekend, and the Manchester United game after that. He was a massive loss, and I heard a stat, I think it was, I think this is correct anyway, that since Richarlison signed for Everton in 2018, that we haven't won a game in which he hasn't played, which isn't the stat that you want to hear, and of course something that hopefully we can put an end to on Sunday, but it will be a very tough game. As well, Seamus Coleman, the other man that was missing on Sunday, and we didn't half miss him, honestly. The captain and his performances at right back have been brilliant. He's really kind of recaptured some of the finest form we've seen from him in his career, and it's just wonderful to see. He is just blue through and through, and I think when he's on the pitch, he kind of sets the tone and standard as well. For people. So yeah, we've missed him, and we saw young Ben Godfrey, our new signing, the centre back that we signed from Norwich a few weeks ago, and he had been being played as a right back. We saw him have to come on and do that in the derby, and he did a very, very good job, it's got to be said. I think he did exceptionally well, but he did seem to struggle a little bit on Sunday with, you know, his positional play, and obviously he's being played out of position. It's something that he's not used to, and I think Southampton really targeted that from early on, and it paid off for them on the day. It was a really disappointing one, as I said. We just weren't up to the usual standards of what we've been used to. Everton have played some of the best football I've seen from them in an awful long time. You know, that's largely thanks to, of course, the signing of James Rodriguez. He's the one that you look at that adds that sparkle and a stardust, you know, a magic left foot, can just make things happen out of nothing. Just an absolute world-class player. Of course, we brought in Decore as well, and Alan from Napoli to protect that back four. So yeah, I think, you know, those three will be key. Obviously, again, I'm not sure the situation on James at this moment in time. He picked up an injury with the tackle from Van Dijk in the derby early on, and he was past fit for the Southampton game but wasn't fully at it, although that might have been due to positional changes. But I think if he is fit to play, that's big. If he ends up missing out on the game through injury, then he'll no doubt be a massive loss. And it's what we do to make up for the likes of Richarlison, I think, and Coleman, of course. I think maybe we see John Joe Kenny come in, the young right back who spent a lot of time on loan at Schalke, and he did pretty well there. When he's come in for Everton, when he's been called upon, I don't think he's really done much wrong. I like him, more than happy to see John Joe Kenny step in, and of course he is a right back, so it is his position. So positionally, that's where he'll know where he needs to be, and that should hopefully benefit us on Sunday if he's to come in. Also, my preference would be personally to see Anthony Gordon come in for Richarlison. I think he's a young Scouser as well. He's absolutely brilliant. He's yet to score his first senior goal for the club, but he's come close so many times. We've seen him featured. He got a few minutes towards the end of the game on Sunday, and he made a good impression when he came on. So on that basis, I would give him the nod to start. We've seen in cup games previously in the season a really good link-up between Niels Nkunku and Anthony Gordon, and it'd be good to see that again in the Premier League. So yeah, I would look to probably bring in John Joe Kenny and Anthony Gordon. If James is fit, as I said, that will make a big positive difference to us. Calvert-Lewin didn't score for the first time in a consecutive game against Southampton. We didn't score, so obviously he wasn't on the score sheet, and he'd scored in every previous Premier League fixture, so he'll absolutely be raring to get a goal again. He won't like the feeling of not scoring, because, you know, confidence comes with scoring goals, and he'll want to quickly get another one to make him feel confident again, and definitely got the faith in him that he can do that. Of course, Luca Dean missing, we rely so much on the balls whipped in from him on the left-hand side. But hopefully we'll see that, as I said, from Anthony Gordon and from Niels Nkunku as well. We're going to have to make up for the loss of two key players. Jordan Pickford obviously is someone who's been in the spotlight recently, and I've got to say, even you guys, I know, aren't his biggest fan with the fact he's a Mackham, but seeing the fact that he's had to hire security following death threats to him and his family and just obscenities, it's horrible to see. And I think this is a big game for him, where in the past maybe fans have gotten under his skin. I've said in the past that I'd find it very hard if I was trying to play and I had Reds giving me grief. You know, I'd find it extremely difficult. So yeah, maybe the fact, I think I spoke to Matty about this previously off air before we had the technical difficulties, and it might have been earlier in the week, about how it might benefit Everton and Jordan Pickford that there aren't fans there, but definitely got faith in him to step up. And I just hope that he is, you know, and his family are doing good, and hopefully just he can do his talking out on the pitch. And you know, as I said, he receives a lot of criticism and in the media as well, and it's really blown up, and you see the ugly side of things. So hopefully he'll be all right, and he could be a big key player for us in the game, because Newcastle, of course, have got players that can very much hurt us. Sam Maximin just absolutely terrifies me. I think he is a joy to watch, though. Many Evertonians and football fans that I've spoke to are all in agreement when, as long as you're not playing against him, he's really exciting to watch. He's explosive. Technically, he is just brilliant to watch. He's got all the tricks, all the skills, that footballing intelligence. He can just terror teams. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how we cope with the directness and the threat of him, as well as players that, you know, maybe won't even be starting. You've got obviously Joel Linton, Andy Carroll, you know, the Callum Wilson, of course. How could I forget? You know, I think when I saw he'd signed for Newcastle, I thought straight away he'll be a top signing for you, and it's proven to be the case already, with him firing goals and his performances looking lively as well. I know that Newcastle fans probably don't enjoy the brand of football that they're being served at the moment, and as a Blue, I can resonate. Not obviously at the moment. We're very fortunate in the fact that the club has recruited a top manager and is backing him and bringing the players in. But obviously Newcastle fans will be frustrated with a lot of the football they're seeing, and I think it might be quite a tough one to watch for both teams. Newcastle will be tough to break down, and they're pretty damn good on the counter-attack, as we've seen. So that could be a real threat. You know, if Everton get caught up in, I think we'll keep a lot of the ball. I think we'll have a lot of possession and just try and break through that Newcastle side and pick a way through to the goal. But yeah, that leaves us, you know, there's always going to be gaps for Newcastle to counter and try and hurt us that way. And they've definitely got the players that are capable to do that. So we've got to have our wits about us, especially, as I said, without Richarlison, who actually defensively does a lot of work despite him being a forward, and Seamus Coleman, of course, as well. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game. Newcastle, mixed bag of results as well for you. Obviously, the opening result was a massive disappointment. You've had a few draws in there. And when you're 14th, I think, in the table, and just a kind of mixed bag, you don't really know what you're going to get with Newcastle at the moment. And obviously, from an Evertonian point of view, I hope we get a version that we can beat, because it's as I said, it's a massive game for Everton, who are looking to continue the feel-good factor after losing on Sunday. It was a kind of blow to everybody, and I think we need to get that 3 points to bounce back and keep us at the right end of the table and keep this feel-good factor and this momentum with us, despite that mishap the other day. So yeah, all being well from an Everton point of view, I'd like to say I think it'll be an Everton win. It is going to be a very tough game, and because of the players that we've got missing, it's one of those where I kind of wouldn't be surprised at any result, so a win, loss or draw, obviously. But I am going to back Everton. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Blues, and yeah, hopefully I'd take it any way it came. A win's a win, and I don't think it will be an easy game by any stretch. So yeah, look forward to it, and hopefully it'll be a win for the Blues, but we'll have to wait and see.